Welcome to JNN's Headline News. I'm Vashan, keeping you connected. Lime's parent company, Cable & Wireless Communications, has been awarded costs from claims by its competitor Digicel. The costs relate to claims that Cable & Wireless unlawfully delayed Digicel's entry as a competitor in the Caribbean telecoms market. The UK High Court dismissed the claims last week. Nazila Mays has the story.
Digicel was ordered by the courts to pay Cable & Wireless Communications and defendant parties costs for their defense, which ran to at least £15 million or $24 million US. The claims suggested that the Cable & Wireless had breached the telecom status in Barbados, Cayman, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada and the Turks and Caicos Islands, which Digicel was entering as a competitor between 2002 and 2006. Similar allegations were also made against TSTT, the Trinidad and Tobago-based telecom operator in which Cable & Wireless Communications holds a minority stake. The High Court ruled Cable & Wireless Communications was entitled to cost in 6 out of the 7 jurisdictions on an enhanced indemnity basis. The case was heard over 77 sitting days in the High Court in London, UK, and heard evidence from 43 witnesses. Digicel issued its proceedings in July 2007, the day before the Cable & Wireless, and at the time announced its claim amounted to several hundreds of millions of pounds of damages. In his cost judgment, Mr. Justice Morgan made a number of comments criticizing Digicel's conduct of its case. For JNN, I am Nazila Mays.
There are signs that the island's largest financial institution, the National Commercial Bank, has started to feel the effects of the recent debt exchange program JDX. NCB saw its net profit decline by 7.8% or $217 million to $2.55 billion for the quarter ended March 31 when compared to the previous quarter. Operating profit for the 3 months was also down. The figure declined by 5.7% or $427 million to $7.1 billion. In releasing its financial results yesterday, NCB said the JDX, which was concluded on February 24, resulted in the expected reduced yields and longer maturities on its locally issued investment securities. The results for the March quarter included approximately 1 month of reduced securities income. And for the 6 months to end the last month, NCB saw its total loans and advances decline by $1.3 billion to $86.4 billion. The economic downturn also took a toll on the ability of the bank's customers to repay their loans. During the period, non-performing loans totaled $2.9 billion, reflecting a $600 million increase over the corresponding period last year. This represented 3.3% of gross loans compared to 2.6% as at March 2009. Vashan for JNN. The St. Anne-based Noranda Bauxite Company is to make the positions of more than 150 of its contract workers redundant. The workers to be affected are said to be those in the mining division. A year ago, the company announced a 25% increase in production amidst a downturn in bauxite demand worldwide. It's not clear when the workers will be laid off. The impending layoff comes just over a week after it was announced that another bauxite company, Windalco, would be reopening its Yotan plant in June. In regional news, the Carnal Knowledge accused Chandra Narayan Sharma once again steered clear of overnighting in prison when his lawyers secured bail for him in the sum of $2 million. He was ordered to lodge his passport with the court and to report every Monday and Friday to the police headquarters.
Outspoken talk show host and leader of the Justice for All party, C.N. Sharma, is home this evening after being granted $2 million bail in that Carnal Knowledge case. Sharma arrived at court this morning in the Ghana Prison Services van with other prisoners. He was the first to exit and once again made it clear that he was innocent of the allegations.
Yes, this makes my political career more strong.
You cannot do this.
Once in court, the matter continued in private. Only Sharma and the attorneys in the matter were in court putting forward their arguments with regard to the case. Whilst all of that was taking place behind closed doors, a crowd of mostly women gathered outside the courthouse in support of the man who has always seen himself as the voice of the people. Back to the courthouse, the arguments went on for over 3 hours, and in a written decision, Magistrate Lovell granted the TV owner bail in the sum of $2 million and asked that he surrender his passport. Sharma seemed at ease as he exited the courtroom.
Mr. Sharma, anything you want to say?
The bail has been granted. $2 million and I surrender my passport on Monday.
His lead attorney, Nigel Hughes, was not surprised that bail was granted, since it is catered for in the law with regard to the charge. The preliminary inquiry is set to begin next Monday, and the defense team appears ready to move on.
Matters in Cameroon, Mr. Sharma was granted bail in the sum of $2 million. The trial commences on Monday afternoon at 1:30.
What do you believe was your most persuasive argument that led to the granting of bail?
I don't know. Her worship, I think, was guided by the law. She gave an excellent written decision. I'm sure it's going to be made available at some stage, and I'm sure in your examination of that, you will see what moved her worship.
Are you prepared to go with this case as early as possible?
Yeah, it's starting on Monday. We're ready to start on Monday.
You're ready?
Yeah. Mr. Sharma has always attended court whenever he's been charged. I have no fear that he will always continue to attend court, but if the court wants the extra security of a passport, absolutely no problem with that.
Is $2 million too exorbitant for carnal knowledge bail?
I don't know. You need a sum. The magistrate thought that the sum was enough to ensure that he attends. $2 million is, I think, in the realm of what may be considered acceptable.
A visibly disappointed Director of Public Prosecutions, Shalimar Ali Hack, would say nothing to the media as she left the courthouse.
Was granted bail on what grounds, madam?
Anything you want to say?
No comment. Are you surprised he was granted bail? No comment.
Are you disappointed that he was granted bail?
Are you disappointed?
C.N. Sharma is facing a carnal knowledge charge which stemmed from allegations by a 13-year-old girl. The girl's mother worked for the talk show host.
Those are the stories making JNN Headlines at this time. Join us at the top of the hour for more news. I'm Vashan Brown, JNN Headlines, keeping you connected.